I didn't know that Michael Savage is still around. I haven't been listening to radio. He may still be. People don't know this guy's history because he's an old-timey radio guy. He actually had a show on MSNBC back in the early aughts.
What was that when Tucker had his show on MSNBC?
Yeah, I think it was even before Tucker.
Wow.
And he is one of the most bigoted guys that you can imagine. This was what, and he was on talk radio. It was, he still may be. But Limbaugh, Savage, Levin, Sean Hannity, Limbaugh, Savage had a very popular show during the Obama years, and I think you're going to understand why. But when it comes to immigrant xenophobia to racism, hard to beat Michael Savage. As Janine would say, Michael Savage, because he used to be a lefty, saw Ginsburg naked one time too many. And here is Michael Savage.
They're not going to work on AOC because she's got so much clout and she's kind of such a celebrity. She's so beloved by Hollywood. Bowman didn't have any of those things. But I mean, let's just say what they really are. I mean, this is the Marxist group. These are the communists in Congress. And I mean, that's why Bernie's there. And sure, hating the Jews right now is the fashionable thing in this group. But what they believe is so much more vile and dangerous than that. And they're spreading that rapidly. And they get so much attention from the media because the media is so stupid. They love having these people on, and it's all of them. It's the Rashida Tlaib, and it's the Ilhan, and it's the Cori Bush, and it's all of these. I mean, they're insufferable people. They're very unintelligent, and they're beloved by the media that just thinks it's so sexy to be communist in a capitalist country.
Well, Bernie Sanders is the head of the snake of that organization. We all know that. He's the one who trained these puppets to speak the way they speak. They are naked and absolute Bolsheviks, if you want to call them communist, Bolshevik, it doesn't really matter. If they had the power, they would put you and me in a re-education camp, of course, or execute us. That's who these Bolsheviks are. But the worst of them all is Bernie Sanders. I have been on to him since he came along. Bernie Sanders brainwashed these people. Bernie Sanders looks like a benign Jewish grandfather in a crumpled suit with a tuna fish stain on his lapel from riding the subway and not having enough money to buy a hot dog on a cart. But this man is a vile, evil American of the worst kind, Bernie Sanders. We shouldn't lose the focus on who is behind these people. It's Bernie Sanders. He's worthy of our attention and our contempt.
Pause it. But I just want to make it clear what's going on here. Rob Schmidt is mad because he knows that, like, our folks want to hear more about the quality of the people that we're talking about. Let's put it this way. My audience likes a darker vision of who the enemy is, if you know what I mean.
Well, you know what's disgusting but also fascinating about this is we talked about the Great Replacement Theory, which is an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory about how the Jewish people are orchestrating all of these migrants to come into the country, and it's because these white supremacists can't think that like black people or Latino people are doing anything
are smart enough
to do it on their own.
Yeah.
And it's the Jews that have to be the puppet master. He's doing the exact same thing about the Squad. He's saying Bernie Sanders, the Jewish person,
I brainwashed them. I made some community access videos about Eugene Debs, and I forced them to watch them in the 80s.
Like AOC and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar are all the people that the puppet master is brainwashing. And I also just have to be like, Rashida Tlaib doesn't do any media. What is he talking about? I don't think I've ever seen her do a cable hit one time. But
the focus on who is behind these people. It's Bernie Sanders. He's worthy of our attention and our contempt. But he certainly is not up for re-election. He is a man who espouses hatred for capitalism and owns 3 or 4 houses that we know of. His wife bankrupted a college in Vermont and then walked off with a big amount of money. These are gangsters. These are classic Bolshevik gangsters.
And they're good
very much like their boss in the White House, who you very clearly spoke about so succinctly in 2 segments ago. So we're dealing with criminals who are also Bolsheviks, and they're very dangerous. So we can celebrate, yes. Bowman is gone. The ghetto thug is gone. He's probably have a great career on MSNBC tomorrow. The paper was probably waiting for him. I don't think he'll be hired by Newsmax. I suspect he's not going to be a competitor for this slot.
It would make some great debates, though. We could maybe get him as a contributor and just talk some
Yeah,
trash.
for sure.
What a horrible person.
The ghetto thug.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means by that.
Kind of says everything
I
about.
think he means ghetto thug.
Yeah. Kind of says everything about the right wing's cynical use of anti-Semitism to attack people being critical of Israel right now. Because Rob Schmidt opened that segment saying how they hate all the Jews, the Squad, and then Michael Savage goes in to say how the Bernie Sanders is a puppet master who is manipulating all the members of the Squad.
And
then that racist comment about
extremely
Bowman
anti-black
was-
comment. Yeah.
BRB forever reminds me that Michael Savage's real name is Michael Weiner.
Oh, that's hilarious. Bowman's a thug. Jamal Bowman is an educator. Like Jamal Bowman is a school principal who is like has a wonderful American story. He grew up in public housing and was a servant, a true public servant in every sense of the word. So we all know what he's saying there when he says thug.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.